All right. It is 9 o'clock on a Saturday morning, and we're going to do our last prep for Red Hand of Doom. This could be the last prep ever for Red Hand of Doom in my life. I don't know if I have it in me to run it a third time. I didn't even know I had it in me to run it a second time. It is a phenomenal campaign, but it shares too much in common with campaigns that I like to run. And so I'm trying to kind of move away from this particular story beat. Also, as a vampire, I'm hiding from the sun, but it's causing some weird lighting. So, like, I'm occasionally going to appear and disappear in shadow. Like one of those people that's, like, ratting out the mob or whatever, and then, like, they're in shadow. I don't know why it's happening this morning. I got a lot on my mind. I got a lot on my plate. We took a week off because I went on vacation to the beach. I'm back. We're going to finish the campaign for real. This will be session 60, which is a fine number to end a campaign on. And I have a lot of feels about this game and about this group. I don't even know where to start. Why don't we start mechanically, right? Why don't we look at what we're walking into today? And then if there's time, we can address all of these feelings that are bouncing around inside of us. Because I got a lot of feelings about this campaign and about the end of this campaign. Made worse by events that have transpired in the past week. So I don't know if it's going to be a very emotional prep stream today or what, but I got a lot. I got a lot in my cage, in my chest. So we'll see. All right. Let's see. Oh, first of all, I reopened the mausoleum after last night's vodcast. I had stopped posting character death because, one, I didn't like the spoilers that came with it, and I was too dumb to remember that we could just use spoiler tags. Two, I didn't like sensationalizing and celebrating death. But after our vodcast last night, which ran over, it was about 90 minutes of talking about character death and the things related to character death, I realized that, like, those are stories that are being told, and those are moments in time that we need to remember. So reopening that. So if you follow along with any of our games, even games that are run on the server that I don't run, like games by Orf or Red or Dom or Darby or any of those games, message me the deaths that you remember, and I will add them to the mausoleum so that those people and their sacrifices aren't forgotten. Okay, so mechanically, where are we at? All right, we left off with them fighting down below in the Fane of Blood in the Fane Ruins. There were things down in the Fane Ruins that they could have faced, but they did not. Pacing dictated that I sort of rushed them through to the end, and so that is what happened, is they kind of got rushed through. I still think it was cool. I still think we got El Boomerang to show up. Speaking of, let's open up our notes. That will also ground us a bit here in our prep, lest the emotions and the feels get the better of us on this fine Saturday morning. All right. Okay. So, let's see. We left off. They had snuck through this spine. They were right here. They were blasting a hole through this eyeball, and they were going to head through. Aragorn managed to break all of his art. I guess I got to let him know. So, let's see. I'll message him. Hey, all your art for Red Hand of Doom is missing. Okay. Alright. So they're going to go through here. and they're going to enter the chamber of... Hey, good morning, Cryptic Muffin. We talked about you a lot last night, and all the crying that you did when Shades died. You were a hot topic last night. All right, so we're going to go through to the Fane of Blood. So the Fane of Blood, it is dark, it is scary, there's blood everywhere. And we have dealt with the Blood Priestess. If she dies, she stays alive. Second round of being dead, she gets back up. Only victory is destroying the wells. Chain on the braziers does this. Final dungeon, Alhoon appears, summons the Neothid, kites the party for a bit, disappears. Jert's Boomerang arrives, caves in tunnel, Wall of Flesh. If it's too easy, that's okay. If it's too hard, start sacrificing NPCs. Sanguine King. Leodhata Drayora. So there we go. It's been a rough week. I could talk at length about the emotional meat grinder that I've gone through in the past like week and a half. I'm like one step away from crying like any given minute lately. Alright, final fight. Whenever a phase transition happens, the players can spend 1 hit die to gain 1 inspiration. If they are adjacent to an ally, they can expend a hit die to heal that ally instead of themselves. If they do, the amount healed is doubled. Every round, Sanguine King uses an ability or buffs as our cool. So that's the layer action. We could probably put everyone here and set up the initiative to save some time. So why don't we do that? So I'll go ahead and just plop. Nope. I need more than just a lion. Cool. Now it's mad at me. Alright. There we go. Thalen is Dunzos again. And let's clean this up before going any further. Claude doesn't have initiative. Jert Jr. doesn't have initiative. Him dead. Aragorn doesn't have any art. I guess that's an Aragorn problem. I don't know the situation with that cannon. I think it got destroyed. Let's see. Braun Bronson's not an initiative. None of these people are in initiative. Alright. Regierix is in initiative. There we go. Alright. I guess Regierix shouldn't be listed as a bad guy anymore. So, let me see. Though she's definitely a bad guy. We'll make her Foundry. There we go. So up here, we have Azar and his ladies. There we go. These are Araignés, like the ones I fought on Tuesday, but these Araignés are different. They don't have a cool breath weapon of flaming arrows, or arrows that stick in you and do ongoing damage. They just have ropes of entanglement, for the most part. That's okay. Over here, we got the Alhoon, so he'll be an initiative. And then here we got the layer action, which needs to be in there as well. Alright. I feel like this dude is definitely not their friend, so I'm going to make him hostile. And then I need something to rep this cutie when it's time for him to be an initiative, so I'll use Sanguine King's Propa miniature. Propa! Keeping in mind that he has multiple parts on his body, which we'll go over in a second, because, you know, final boss is complicated, so it wouldn't hurt to go over it. Alright. Let's see. Layer, every round, blah, blah, blah. Phase 1, Alhoon. Alhoon needs a name. Does he need a name? Does he really? Let's see. Mind Flare Name Generator. It's going to be something like Gibbly Bloop Blop Blops or whatever. I don't know. Let's see. Inkyek. Incredible. Velt. Sroll. Thulsak. Thalask. Thalask is pretty good. Alright. So we will do, on his character sheet at least, him will have a name. Flask. Vengeful Alhun. There we go. There, he has a name now, Notes. Are you fucking happy? Alright. Azar Cool's there, the twin Araignes are there. The Shadow of Cool is in Phase 2. Phase 3, just a Sanguine King. Bonus phase transition moments. When you kill the Alhun, when you destroy the eye, when you destroy the right hand or the left hand. Those are all going to be moments where they could benefit from a phase transition. What if they don't have any hit dice left, Crash? That's a great fucking question. I think they all have plenty of hit dice left at this juncture. Let me see. Take a rest. Oh, alright. He has 0 hit dice. Okay. Good point. What if they don't have any hit dice, Crash? I hear you. I hear your concerns. These are valid feelings that you have, for sure. What if they don't? Alright, should they be allowed, if they don't have a hit die, to use an item interaction? I feel like that could work. Okay. If you have no hit dice, you may instead perform one item interaction or one bonus action instead. Alright, that seems fair. Then they could at least do something. Drink a potion or something. But that's only if they burned up all their hit dice. Man, why are all these people, like, dead and shit? What kind of fucking game am I running here? I don't know. Let's see. Jerk Jr. Well, he's dead for sure. Alright, little... Alright, G-Rex goes over here. God, there's so fucking many of them. Alright, Layla goes over here. Jert Bandon, Aragorn, Barnabas, Little Tony, Eldritch Cannon. I don't know if Eldritch Cannon's alive or not. Alright. So let me see the hit dice situation here. He's got 2. That's a lot of hit dice. Alright, they don't have a lot of hit dice. I was wrong. They don't have a lot of hit dice. Anyways. So, how it plays out is they get here, Azar Cool is like, I'm swinging big dick. I'm ready. It's going to be fucking awesome. I'm going to summon my god. He's right behind me. And he is mostly a cleric. He has a stupid high armor class. He has this spiritual weapon that he has upcast. I believe we've already set the spiritual weapon up. He doesn't have a very high attack bonus, I say, with a plus 12, compared to a lot of these shit that they have fought. But he's trying his best. We got these 2 Araignes. The Araignes can be a pain in the ass. They're only at a plus 7 to attack, so a lot of the characters are going to be okay. However, they can still be a problem with the Ropes of Entanglement causing issues and just the shift damage. Now, they are immune to poison because they are all under the benefits of a Hero's Feast, so there is at least that going on. They're not as damaging as they could be. The Alhun is definitely an issue. Him got some good spell casting here. He has used some spellcasting slots, but not many. So they basically have an enchanter wizard cruising around in the back here. That's going to be an issue. He is still under the effects of greater invisibility. So that's going to be a thing. Let me delete that real quick. I don't think anybody's logged in yet. So I could probably throw a bunch of boofs on these guys too. Alright, let's see. Greater invisibility. Boop, boop. And then he's going to receive buffs from his god as the fight is going on. So that's the thing. What buffs will he be receiving from his god? Fantastic questions. Again, thank you so much for asking those. So, the buffs that he would probably receive include, but are not limited to, Shield of Faith, which is what we will start with. So, we'll do that. And let's see. Layer actions, things that he's going to want to use is Shield of Faith. And probably haste. Haste would be risky biz because if you broke his concentration, he would lose the haste. So that would be a whole thing. So what about... I don't want to give him like super strong stuff. But what about... Stone Skin? Stone Skin would be kind of cool. Heroism? Might be kind of fun, actually. Let's do Heroism. Because he is, you know, he's God's hero right here. He's doing God's work. So, Heroism. I don't think Stone Skin's really going to help because I think Stone Skin only helps you against, like, magic? Let me check. Until the spell, this spell turns flesh as hard as stone. Until the spell ends, they have resistance to non-magical bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing. Yeah, what a garbage spell. Nobody fucking cares about that spell. 4th level. Jesus Christ. Requires concentration. What? Wow. No wonder I've never seen anybody cast this spell, unless it was given to them by a magic item. Let's see. What are some other buffs that wouldn't be game-breaking? I feel like giving him haste would either result in him just being too strong, or him having... what about enhance ability? That would work. Alright, enhance ability. That seems good. D&D 5e buffs. Buff spells. A sign that people don't get buffed enough is all of them are kind of like, it's like the same list like every time. Enlarge could be kind of cool. Alright, so we'll do enhance ability. We'll do enlarge. Okay. I don't know how many rounds this shit's gonna go, but Death Ward, sure. I think he should probably have Death Ward on himself already, because, you know, you wake up every day as a cleric. I don't know why you wouldn't cast Death Ward on yourself. Alright. Let's see. Tensor's Transformation. It's only for wizards. Aid. Aid could be good. Okay. Bless. Why didn't I think of that? Shit. Alright. So let's go with Bless on the second round. Alright. I feel like enhance ability is just not kind of meeting all of the requirements here. Aid feels like it's going to come too late in the fight. Hey, what's up, Dom? But I'll put it in there anyways. And then if it goes this long, I'll have him just drop a straight up heal. And then if it keeps going, I'll have him drop a regeneration. So if it goes that long, then that'll happen. Alright. So, they fight Azarkul. Azarkul is going to, in this fight, he is vampire, true. So he's going to prioritize, let's see, prioritize any casters using radiant attacks or daylight-based spells. And that's going to be true of the twin Ariniers also. And I guess the Alhun as well, because they don't want the champion to go down. So all three of them are going to prioritize radiant spellcasters. Following that, let's see, he will try charming low wisdom characters. And He's got Spell Blade Training. Single action or Paragon action cast one spell and make one weapon attack. He may substitute his spiritual weapon for a weapon attack. Well, that's good to know. I forgot about that. And then, let's see. Biting is good to regain health. Let's see. Bite to regain health if possible. But it has to be a willing creature, or they have to be grappled, incapacitated, or restrained. He's a cleric, so he could also just regain health by fucking healing himself if he really wanted to. He is down his earlier spell slots, having used them for healing up the Alhoun and his allies, and I don't know, whatever else it was. Doing shit throughout the day. Dispel evil and good on summons, so for sure. Alright, so his AI script would be dispel evil and good against any summons. Let's see. Dispel magic against any good buffs or effects he can see. Let's see. Greater restoration. Himself and allies out of danger. Holy weapon. Is this what he would use his concentration on? Maybe. Maybe. Harm is pretty dope. So I think he would use harm. Harm against a low con, low health target. Okay. And I think you can upcast harm. No, you can't upcast harm. And let's see. Mass heal. If shit gets low. So, mass heal team if HP is dropping. Man, this is going to be a hard fucking fight. A cleric? That's a hard fight. Spiritual guardians for sure. Let's see. Will re-up spiritual guardians whenever possible. Okay. Do we want to go grab some spiritual guardians? I feel like that's what I've got spooping around in the background there, TBH. I'll just put up a colored aura. I don't give a shit. Use your imagination. Let's see. Anything else that this guy wants to bring to the table? Spell magic, he has spiritual weapon up. Will re-up spiritual weapon as needed. In case they start disabling and all that jazz. And then with spiritual guardians, we need to remember has Warcaster. Alright. So that's as our coolest plan. This particular wave. And then the Araignées. Mostly they want to entangle. So they're going to go after low dexterity targets. Entangle and restrain low dex targets. Bring towards cool so he can eat them. Yeah, because they'd be grappled. Nice. That covers those guys. And then the Alhoun, which is going to be the real pain in the ass here, is going to be... Okay. 1x dominate monster. 1x psychic scream. Invisible counterspelling. Clutch spells or healing. What an asshole. Mind Sliver. If nothing else seems appealing, re-up greater invis if it drops. This is a hard fucking fight. Oh my god. Alright, well that's phase 1 of this hard fucking fight. Holy shit. Alright, we got 30-ish minutes, 40 minutes till the game, so we're still doing pretty good. Alright, so that kind of takes us through the things to look for during phase 1. Phase 2, we've got Shadow Cool. Alright, so this says Azar Cool Shadow of Death to delete. I'll believe it. I'll delete it. Alright, so Azar Cool, the Shadow of Death. Alright, so he just turns into, I forget what the creature's called, a Nightwalker. So he gets this annihilating aura. If you start your turn within it, Constitution save or necrotic damage, undead are immune to this effect. Him's got Paragon actions, Life Eater. If a creature dies, reduces 0 hit points by the Nightwalker and cannot be revived except by a wish spell. The question here is, do we make the players aware of this, or do we just let it ride? That's a fucking dick move ability here at the end game. Now, admittedly, they could be brought back to life, but if they die here in the final battle, that really sucks, right? So we should probably make them aware of this creature's abilities, I think. That's what I think. He has 5 Fingers of Death that he can cast, but keep in mind, the Finger of Death doesn't turn a player character into a zombie right away. It has to kill them, but then again, when you combine that with this ability up here, Life Eater, that means that his Fingers of Death do automatically kill you, and then they turn you into a zombie. It's a sick combination. It's actually fucking terrible. He can Far Step as a bonus action, teleporting through shadows. I'm going to give him vulnerability to Radiant at this point. I think that would probably be good, because he's a shadow creature. A regular Nightwalker does not have that, but, you know, we need something down here, or we're going to just fucking die. And that's really all he's bringing to the table. They just want to burn this guy down pretty fast. So he can make 2 enervating focus attacks, one of which can be replaced by a Finger of Death if available. So this is just terrifying, honestly. And if they kill him without killing the Alhoun and without killing the Irenyes, then they got to deal with this guy on top of those other ads, which is just really fucking bad. Just really fucking bad. Alright, we could say that when Azar Cool dies, he kills the Irenyes to empower his transformation into this next form. That's probably a good idea. So let's see. We're going to say, if any allies remain, he absorbs their essence to power this transformation. That's classic. Classic bad guy. We gotta put warn. We're gonna put a meta tag here. Warn players that this creature embodies death, and if it drops them to 0, they will die. The only means of recovery would be a wish spell. So that becomes an issue right away of like getting enough HP to survive what he is bringing to the table. Alright, now he's got a low DC here because we didn't assign a spellcasting ability modifier to it. Probably just going to set it at strength. That will set these at a DC 20. They can succeed at a cost and they can also burn a lot of Faxpiration or Fanspiration, so there is that as well to try to keep this thing going a little bit longer. But overall, a pretty fucking terrible, miserable monster. Not the best choice, honestly, but it's the end of the campaign. I wanted it to be really hard. So, that's that. All right. Then, after they finish the fight with this guy, which hopefully they burn him down real quick, they just have the Sanguine King to deal with. So, the Sanguine King is bringing to the table 500 HP, which is spread across him's different body parts. It's really good that we're rereading all this stuff. He's got these buffs down here that he's casting on people. That's fine. He has this bite. He has the Grasping Claw. The Grasping Claw is if the target is huge or smaller creature, it is grappled and restrained until the grapple ends. The aspect can have only one creature grappled this way at a time, and this is based on Tiamat, I believe, is what we used initially for this. And then the tongue attack can knock you prone, so that's a whole thing. All right. Then we've got Bloodied Reaction, Defensive Entropy Pulse. This ability can only be used by Bloodied in response to taking damage. The Sanguine King can use the following ability. The aspect flares with necrotic energy. Each creature of the aspect's choice in a 60-foot radius centered on him must make a con saving throw. On a failed save, they take 6d12 necrotic damage and half on a success. That's nothing to write home about. Bloodied Banished to the battlefields. The aspect targets a creature he is grappling. The creature must succeed on a DC 25 Charisma saving throw or take 44 psychic damage and be banished to Acheron, the eternal battlefield. At the start of the aspect's next turn, the creature reappears in the preoccupied space within 10 feet of the aspect's eye. Draining Bite. They perform a bite attack. A creature struck by it must con save, or they gain that much temp HP, and the creature loses that much from their max HP. If reduced to 0, they die. So we have this listed as 2 legendary actions, just to remind us that it costs 2 paragons. Alright. Entropic Eye Beam is a 300-foot long, 10-foot wide eye beam. Each creature in the area must make a DC 25 saving throw or take type of damage of the aspect's choosing, necrotic, lightning, or force. On a successful save, they take half damage. Again, not super duper interesting because it's just a lot of damage that's being dumped. And again, I base this on the aspect of Tiamat, the raw stat block from 5e. Oh, hey Sensei. Yeah. Look, it's like looking at you. It's following you around. So, because the original Red Hand of Doom, the final boss, was an aspect of Tiamat, I wanted to base the final boss on the aspect of Tiamat. But the 5e stat block for the aspect of Tiamat, it ain't super great. I would have much preferred a breath weapon, essentially, that did something besides damage. I could certainly do that still, but at this point, they've been through so much to get this far. This is the 3rd phase of the final boss fight. I don't know really what I would want to put in there, besides maybe pushing them back. That might be kind of cool. So why don't we put that? Creatures. Creatures who fail this save by 5 or more are also flung as the fling ability in the direction of the beam. There we go. So we'll go ahead and throw Fling on there, which is such a phenomenal monster ability. There we go. Alright, so then you get hit really hard, and then anime style, you just get thrown like really far back, smash against a pillar or something cool like that. So just adds a little bit more spice to it, and unfortunately a little bit more damage, but it is what it is. Multi-attack, can't use Draining Bite as part of it. Good note, past self. And then he's got multi-part monster as a weakness. His eye, tongue, and 2 hands can be targeted separately. They share HP pool with his main body, however, track damage for each separately. If any of these parts takes 100 damage, it is destroyed. If he loses a hand, less opportunities for claw attacks, less mobility. If he has a destroyed eye, no more eye beams. All attacks are now made at disadvantage, cannot make reaction attacks. And destroyed tongue, reduced reach, no more knocking people down, no more tongue attacks. Okay, good to know. And then the Power of Belief. If the Alhoun has been defeated, the Sanguine King's ability DCs are reduced by 2. And if Azar Kul has been defeated, the Sanguine King's ability DCs are reduced by 3. Alright, I like that a lot. Should we also reduce his AC? That'd be probably good. AC and ability DCs. I don't think that really matters, because I don't think too many parts of him have a very good armor class. But, let me check. Let's see. King. Yeah, Eye of the King's only got an AC of 13. I don't think anyone can miss that. An 18 on the hand. Most people are going to land every hit on that. Right hand of the Sanguine King, same deal. Now, here's the thing. He's there the whole time. They could target him instead of fighting all of these other monsters. If they do, that's fine too, right? But if they do, what would the AI script be for these other characters? So it says they prioritize any casters using radiant attacks or daylight-based spells. True. But I think that they would also prioritize anyone targeting the Sanguine King. That would be a big deal. So let's throw that in there. And same deal here. And then also, while he's still able to, I think he would prioritize healing. Prioritize healing of the Sanguine King. Because if you've got a high-level cleric there and you're trying to kill somebody and the high-level cleric keeps healing them, I would hope that they would understand that they should probably try to stop the cleric from healing that guy. But we'll see. And that's pretty much all this guy's bringing to the table. 500 health is a lot of health. Doesn't have any, weaknesses, but he does have some immunities. Cold, fire, lightning, poison, and acid. That is because of Tiamat. So I feel like we should probably go in and change that a bit. So I'm going to change his stuff up just a little bit here. So we've got right hand, left hand, eyeball, body, tongue. There we go. Okay. So all 5 of these bits, we need to change their damage immunities and whatnot. So they're immune to non-magical weapons. So there's that. Let's see. It just says physical. Okay. And let's see. Get rid of all of these resistances. Okay. So let's see. Immune to bludgeoning, piercing, slashing, unless it's magical. And then we'll give him vulnerability to poison, because blood poisoning. And also because nothing in 5e that matters is weak to poison. So imagine the joy of playing a character with poison attacks and poison abilities, and you actually go up against an enemy, a final boss of the game, that is vulnerable to poison. Wow. What a fucking feeling. I don't know. Anyways, let's change all that up. So we're going to go in here and get rid of all of these. At this point, I want them to win. So I don't want this guy to be immune to every fucking thing in the game, which was, I guess, Tiamat's claim to fame, is that she was probably pretty hard to kill for a raw 5e party because immunity to 5 of the most common damage types. Let's see. Damage vulnerability, poison. I dislike that I'm having to update this 5 times. I could just make notes for myself, but we still have a little bit of prep time, so I guess I'll just go through and do it. There we go. And I don't even know which one I'm updating at this point. This one. Alright. Vulnerability, poison, update. Only 2 more left. We got this. Alright, go in here. Switch this out. Excellent. Vulnerable to poison. Update. And go over here. Same deal. Vulnerable. Poison. Update immunities. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. So, a couple of pitfalls that I foresee. The Nightwalker is probably a bad idea. Having them die and not being able to come back except by a wish spell is really rough at the very end of the campaign after everything that they've been through. So, what we could change it out for is that they die and are immediately animated, and then they turn against the party, which is even worse in a way, because now it's even harder. But they at least get to keep playing their characters, and then when he is killed, the bond that kind of ties them is broken, and then they're able to come back. I like that a lot more. So we're going to go to Shadow of Death as our cool, and we're going to change Life Eater to Soul Binder, and we're going to say, it won't let me change it because it's an import from a Roll20. Wonderful. Alright, let me drag this over and delete it. Oh no, sorry, it's not from Roll20, it's from D&D Beyond, and the imports for some reason got all funky. Alright, a creature dies if reduces 0 hit points by as our cool Shadow of Death. Post that in there. Okay, cool. Let's maybe fix the formatting. Alright. As our cool Shadow of Death. Period. Do not remove them from initiative. The next time that creature would act, it arises as a zombie under the control of Azar Cool. It retains all of its abilities and gains undead fortitude. It rises as a zombie. Okay. Okay. It regains 50% of its total health, comma, and it retains blah 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 blah. All right. Let's see. I'm gonna put as long as our cool Shadow of Death lives, creatures slain by him cannot be raised from the dead. There we go. All right, so mechanically, that gives them some hope. They could bring, if they kill him fast enough, they could bring their friends back to life with Revivify, which they have a staff of Revivify. But if they wait too long, 10 rounds, which is quite an ask in 5e. But in the meantime, they have shit to do, which is kill their friends, which also throws a lot of spiciness in there because now they have to figure all of that shit out. So I'm digging it. That's pretty cool. I like it. All right. So the last thing, what do we do about the fight that's happening outside the door? So if we go back to the Fane Ruins. And let's see. They're fighting their way through the door. Bloodlord Koth is there. He's been poisoned. Everything else. We're only in the second round of combat, and they have the surprise round. Alright. So, what I'm thinking is on... Did Koth even do anything? What did fucking Koth do with his turn? Koth made a constitution save and got poisoned. Damn, dude. Did you not... It was a long time ago. He failed a dexterity save. Koth, buddy, did you get to do anything? Alright, so what I'm thinking is we throw on Koth, like, I don't know, so, like an item or something, just to give them, like, one last, like, good loots before the end, that they could heroically attune to. I think a dope one to throw on would be a Staff of Fire. That's just a great magic item in general. Let's see. Staff of Fire. And Staff of Fire is not, like, super great, but it gives you Burning Hands, Fireball, and Wall of Fire, which is pretty neat. So, they could grab his staff on the way by. They might ask, like, why didn't he use his staff? And it's like, I don't know, you caught him by surprise. But that gives them one more item before they head in. He also has a Potion of Flying, a Potion of Greater Healing on himself. He's got a Wand of Magic Missiles. So I do think that they should probably grab some shit from him on the way by. And I'll be very heavy-handed in my reminder that they should check him for goods as they go by. In fact, let us make a note for ourselves here. So, final stretch, we're going to put... mention to high perception characters that Koth seems to have a number of useful items on his person. Alright. And then, you know, just for shits and giggles, let's say that he... Alright, apparently he has 2 Potions of Greater Healing. Let's say that Koth really showed up for work here at the end. So he's going to have 3 Potions of Greater Healing, his Potion of Flying, his Spell Scroll of Phantom Seed, and we'll go full video game. We'll give him a Scroll of Revivify as well. So in order to create a scroll, I need someone that has an inventory. So let's go and grab one of the Thanlins. There we go. Alright, we'll throw this Revivify on there. And then, let's see. Where did it end up? Spell Scroll of Revivify. Wonderful. Alright, so they'll grab his haversack, and it's full of potions and scrolls and all of that goodness. He's got a Wand of Magic Missiles, and he's got a Staff of Fire. Good stuff. Good stuff. So they'll have that kind of going into the final battle, which is good. Give them a little bit more stuff. Should we throw even more potions on this guy? Like, just they get through this fight with potions? I feel like 3 greater plus what they already have should be enough. Plus the Spell Scroll of Revivify should be enough to get them through. But it wouldn't hurt, I guess, to throw a couple of more potions on there. So we'll do... let's see. D8 BB Healing Potion. There we go. We'll say that he has 3 of those as well. Alright. So any other last-minute precautions to make sure that they win? We identified the worst spot, which was the Nightwalker, and I feel like we made some good corrections to that. Overall, I think they're going to be okay. Let me see if I've got Aragorn's mini on hand, because that would be really handy if I did. Alright, hold on. We'll go to Layla, and Thanlin, Barnabas. Did I just put it in the Thanlin folder? No. Did he just take care of that himself? I guess he took care of that himself. Oh, that's unfortunate. Alright, well, he'll have to plug it in when he gets started then. Okay, so we have 15 minutes till the game. What else is there to go over? What else is there to discuss? I anticipate this battle probably taking 3 hours. It's 3 phases. It might go faster if they do focus fire on the Sanguine King, but without taking out his cleric, that's going to be really hard because the cleric's going to just keep dumping healing into him over and over and over again. But I anticipate 3 hours of the 4-hour session will be spent fighting this boss. That gives us 1 hour of time that we could spend on epilogues. Now, I did receive a specific instruction from Red for epilogue for certain characters that they contributed to the campaign, Gerard and Minette. I had Gerard and Minette on here, and I just said that they continue their exploration of the world, but he wants them to settle down and make a restaurant, so that's what they're going to do. Okay. So then, let's see. We need music for this, which I think I have. I'm kind of listening to it in the background right now. I probably need music for the boss fight. Let me see if I left notes for myself about the music. That would be important too. Alright, Red Hand of Doom. Don't give up music. Alright, that's important. So let's go ahead and leave a note for ourselves up here about music. Let's see. Alright. Has good don't give up vibes. Agreed. Then we've got Battle of Music, which we don't need. And then we've got music for wrapping up the Battle of Brindle. Music for the final boss fight. Dying Embers. Okay. Hopefully Past Me has pretty good taste in music, so we'll see what happens. And then there is second half of boss fight. I will believe myself on that. And then the third part will be the don't give up. So that seems like it works out pretty good. Alright, so we'll do phase 1, phase 2, and phase 3. Alright. So, they complete the adventure, ideally. They all live, ideally. Those that don't live are able to come back because magic and D&D and all that. Those that die and can't come back or don't want to come back have a fitting send-off, essentially. So, we started making a list of all the different people on their B team and throughout that might have things that they do. Some of them I wrote down. A lot of them I'm just going to bullshit. But these are all of the people that I could think of. And, you know, what do they do after the campaign is over, essentially. Kind of moving through all of that. I was pretty sure that Moreland Colehewer was dead. But, like, I couldn't actually find it in my notes or remember across 60 episodes if he was still alive or not. So I'm going to ask Lex, who kind of just knows everything. Hey, just confirming. Okay. Avarthel, is fine. Sir Tyrion the Wise is fine. Kellen Shadowbanks and his daughter, they're fine. All these people, I'll just make up some shit on the spot. That's fine. All right. So, I think that covers it. Damn. All right. So the players, they will also have epilogues that they read off. If there's art or music they want to play, we can show it. I'm pretty sure that we should have Barnabas Benoit go last because I think that he wrote an actual novella about his epilogue. So I kind of want to, I don't want him to go and then intimidate the hell out of the rest of the players. Yeah. Oh man, Lex can't remember if he's dead either. Shows what a strong character-driven campaign we have going on. We knew he was captured in Drellin's Ferry. Ah, okay, gotcha. In that case, let's see, where is he? I didn't even remember he was captured in Drellin's Ferry. Led a slave rebellion against the Red Hand of Doom from within their forward military camp, disrupting supply lines and damaging disrupting supply lines and killing many troops before the rebellion was quashed. Is quashed a word? I guess it is. Rebellion was quashed and he was executed painfully and publicly to send a message to the others. The message was never received because the honor and courage he showed. Alexa, stop the timer. The honor and courage he showed inspired more rebellions. For the people of the Vale would rather die free in defiance than live as slaves and tools for of their enemy. Alright, beautiful. Alright, so I think that covers everything. Damn. Alright, so real quick, in preparation for Outlaws of Alkenstar, I watched all of Deadwood, 3 seasons, and the movie. And I felt like Deadwood was a very good show. And if you don't think so, that's fine. But I thought it was a very good show. I thought the writing was very good. I thought the characterization of those characters, I thought the characters were really good. Even the worst and shittiest characters, like they were like, there was a part of them, right, that was like, you kind of like that. There was one bad guy that was so bad that it was very hard to like that particular one. But all the other characters were bad guys who were like lovable bad guys. Anyways, where I'm going with this is, like many things on HBO, it didn't end well, right? It didn't end well. The show got canceled in the 3rd season, and the way that season 3 ran was very like breakneck speed. It's like finding out that your D&D campaign has to end 3 months early or 4 months early or a year early, and you still want to end it and you still want to give your players something good, so you try your best to speed things up to end that campaign, but ultimately you tried, but when you finally had to end it, you just ended it. Oh, thank you, Will. And so it was another strong example to me of like how important an ending is. Now, I'm a Stephen King fan, so I try not to put too much stock into endings, right? Like, I look back at the 7 years I spent with Game of Thrones, and I'm like, I enjoyed them, right? I enjoyed the books that will never be finished, and I enjoyed the show that ended badly, right? I understand that ending things is hard, right? When I encounter something that ends well, it fills my heart with joy. Like, ending well is the dream, right? To end well with dignity, with grace, with style, and then to stay finished. That is like a creator's dream. To not go on past the time that the story should stop. Deadwood ended badly. It ended well in so much as it was a definitive ending, but it didn't match the tone of the rest of the show, right? So, like, it ended in a way, and I'm not trying to give any spoilers here, but it ended in a way that you felt unsatisfied. People were unsatisfied enough with that ending that 13 years later, HBO made a 90-minute movie or 2-hour movie or whatever that was like, sorry about that, guys. Here's your OVA. Um, and the movie felt like a handout. Do you know what I'm saying? It felt like that post-game content that nobody actually enjoyed, but they all said they wanted. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't want the post-game to clean up the bad ending. They just wanted a good ending. You know what I'm saying? Like, they didn't need a movie to go in and try to clean up the bad ending. That it was too late at that point. 13 years had passed, you know? It was just a friendly hand job to be like, hey, sorry that we canceled your show. Jerk, jerk. Oh, well, there you go. That's the movie. It resonated with me really strong, and it made me very, very sad, because ending things for many people, the beginning and the end, are so important. They carry so much weight. And every time I go to end one of these campaigns, I carry into that last few sessions, especially that last session, a great amount of trepidation and pressure, right? Because I want it to end well. And I want it to end in a way where people are like, it's over, you know? And that's not easy to do. It's not easy for professionals to do. It's not easy for AAA studios to do. It's not easy for people with millions and millions of dollars to do. It's not easy for an incredible storyteller like Stephen King, who most of the endings of his books are fucking terrible. Like, endings are hard. And so today, we walk into another ending, and I hope that it's not terrible. That's what I'm hoping for. I just hope it's not terrible. Anyways, Lexaeus 22 is going to be streaming it live. We'll post the link on the server. I'll try to remember to post the link onto Twitter. If you're interested in joining us for it live, there you go. If there is time, if they finish really, really fast, we're going to have like some question and answer session, like a post-campaign hangout afterwards. So you're welcome to kind of hang out for that. I will stream my view of that when that happens. And then that's it. That's it. The VOD will be out on Friday, and the campaign will go into the archives. And a couple of weeks from now, we'll be Steampunk Cowboys, and another story will begin. So for everybody that hung out with us during prep and contributed ideas and cheered these guys on as they just got meat ground week after week, few against many. Impossible odds. Thank you for hanging out and being here on that journey. All right, time to go run this game. There are announcements, but I'll make them after the game. See you around. Aw. Hey, man, if you want to be on the server, just message me at CrashGym on Discord. I'll let you in, Hickory Horn Devil. Just message me direct on Discord. All right, I'm heading out. See you in a bit. See you next time. The end.